Good morning, fellow traders. Bubba here. Time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Tuesday, October the 19th, 2021. I hope everybody had a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we left off in the markets yesterday. So SPX, guys, monthly chart really starting to eat into that bearish engulfing candle from last month, and getting stronger as we go, right? It looks like we might have another gap up here today, so pretty amazing stuff. Again, last week's chart closed over 1, 2, 3 weekly candles. This week's chart is going after this weekly candle. Might even gap above that there today. Then we just have 2 more weeks to get above, and then before you know it, potentially at all-time highs. Daily chart. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, right? So we obviously got above the macro downward trend line. We got above the 50-day moving average. Now we're above the cloud. So why aren't we in an uptrend yet? Well, I mean, we're definitely moving up, and there's definitely a lot of bullish activity. We're definitely taking advantage of it. We're just not trending that way yet, right? So how do we get there? We need to have a confirmed volume increase over the trend box, right? And so yesterday we didn't have the volume on SPY, so all we did is stretch the trend box. Now, as soon as we get to all-time highs, we're there, right? We've basically taken out the reason for the downtrend is gone, right? So we'll just stretch the trend back over again. So we'll see how it goes. There is a potential bearish count on this whole thing, right? So I mean, we don't want to be bears, right? Necessarily bears on this whole thing, but we can't ignore that this could be expanded flat to the downside before we see a massive wave 3 down. So that is possible. Right now, the exuberance is to the upside, right? And we definitely have been tracking that and riding these waves because we've seen a 1-2-1-2, and we've been riding this wave 3 up. And at this point now, we just need to see when this wave 3 is ready to kind of calm down a little bit, and we'll look for a wave 4 pullback, right? So if we gap up here this morning. Again, we're getting close to the highs right here. So again, we could gap up and then kind of do an A, B, C type down, and then see a wave 5 up to get to all-time highs, right? So we're definitely just tracking that and seeing and riding these waves as they come up, right? So let's take a look at the SPY here this morning. Again, a nice push here this morning. Again, a lot of strength here going into today as the bulls are really just kind of stepping in, and we're seeing some nice flows coming in here too. So again, riding the 80 up here this morning and over a geometric line here today. The macro one is below. S&P futures, again, continuing to push their way up here this morning. Very steep trend line here today, but just kind of doing its thing as the overnight high continues to get pushed up. We have a signal zone above, right? So we'll see if that serves as resistance here going into today. We've got the yesterday's high right here, which is if we do lose the geometric line here today, is a potential target for a gap fill. So we'll see how it goes. We got some September levels above, and other than that, right above that is all-time highs. So we're not that far away from there. Now, if we lose yesterday's lows and we lose the overnight lows, right? We've got some open gap. We got the open gap below and some single prints, from recent. So that's basically what we're tracking here going into today. MES again, a very very steep line right here. It's actually starting to look pretty rising wedge-ish, right? So things are getting a little bit toppy feeling here, right? Kind of that toppy type thing. So we're already breaking out of that rising wedge type look, right? So I mean, but we could push it up here and just kind of keep a little wedge look to it right there. So we'll see how that goes here going into today. Goodness gracious, amazing strength. Qs, again, similar, right? Just kind of grinding its way up here, holding its macro trend line here this morning that we put in the bubble report. IWM, really strong this morning, kind of goofy. It's tough to even put a line on this thing because it's just like vertical. So we'll see how that goes today. But again, it kind of sloppy yesterday compared to the rest of the market. I guess you can kind of look at it as a little bit of a triangle breakout or a bull flag breakout. That was definitely yesterday's move that we pointed out on the S&P in the bubble report. So good stuff there. XLF handing the baton over to tech as Netflix starts kicks off the FANG names tonight. Then we got Tesla coming up on Thursday and a couple other names. So we'll take a look at some that are reporting today. Just some of the more kind of big names, Dow type names. So we'll see how those go. But yeah, so we'll see how that if it continues to stay up there and just keep the market propped up. VIX down here, already below 16. So just kind of interesting. It's kind of coming back to support levels. It gave a little bit of a bounce yesterday pre-market and then just lost it at the open. So we've got that going on. See how Apple's behaving here this morning. Again, they had their event yesterday. Normally it's a sell the news event, but yesterday they decided to buy it up. I guess apparently. Doing earpods is bullish. So there we go. So I mean, same old. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla up here this morning about 7 points. We'll see if that continues to grind its way up here and squeeze out shorts as the market exuberance continues here. So Bitcoin up another 1,000, up over 62,000. Again, our target was 60,000, but I mean we're basically close to 65,000 back to all-time highs. So a pretty nice move there on this area, and of course testing a bull flag up right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to get more in-depth video coverage on the stocks or setups that are on our radar, be sure to join our group or subscribe to the Bubba Report for more morning analysis. The Bubba Report includes S&P 500 review, also a market profile game plan on the S&P futures, sector updates, gappers, orbs, unusual option activity, economic calendar, and we also have Elliott wave counts that are on our radar made by Algo382. Be sure to click the link at the end of this video to subscribe today.